Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending who side you they join with from. For people away, they join the African Voice Network. I know say on a use for me they speak English, and that program they go come 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I be sort of confused as to when for start the program, but me na Abdul Kekagbo, and for people that will not know me, I know say don't take. Me na the founder of VOS Network, and I want for say boku boku tenki to we current CEO with Mr. Mohamed Tairo Tarawali for we he don't do a fantastic job for take VOS from the point where I left as the CEO to the height where VOS don't reach now. So let's not talk too much. Again, for people that we just the join we not know me. I want to say boku boku tenki for when I join, but I had a feeling tonight for Madam Fadima and Mr. Shilon. Mr. Shilon get a family commitment and again enable for join, and Madam Fadima as well, they feel well, so enable join. So I decide say because this now one of the signature programs now VOS, so I decide for step in for them. And no say now huge shoes them for feel because of course Mr. Shilon when I don't go for love Mr. Shilon now Voice of Salone Network. And of course I don't get much for say about Madam Fadima, we are one of the divas. Again, I want to tell them boku boku tenki because where God give me this dream for establish VOS, and I'll be feel say at this time with the help of everybody, una self way the join we, and I'll be the think say within because I established VOS in 2017 because for people them way for whatever reason I want to forgive a little bit of history before I come to the topic of the day. VOS, God give me the dream, the inspiration because by profession being an economist. I dey work for the government of Canada. If when I see na me tag, I put based in Canada. I not put government of Canada because I not deny on behalf of the government of Canada. So with me experience na Canada, I don't dey work for the Canadian government for over 15 years practicing. And I mean a senior specialist, as you can understand, a big responsibility that. So at the kind of before the election, so if when I go back to the VOS radio, when I go realize, say, because I start first with the radio and then we able CEO join me, when Mr. Mohamed Tarawali follow push this thing go before. So I start with the VOS radio, and the time way I established the VOS radio, I've been listening to the candidates them for the 2018. So we established late 2017. So for una we now get better understanding because plenty time una don't accuse this network and say VOS now because of Marabio win the election, we establish VOS because we want to use VOS, forget at Marabio. No, absolutely that's wrong. So I want to set the record straight as the founder of VOS. When I go back, when I look at the transparency page, now the Facebook of the Voice of Salone Radio. And the TV, because people like Fadima and all the other people them were saying a very good program and be they join me where I be they present and Mr. Tarawali. So they say, okay, well, it's time for establish the TV. So we established the TV in January of 2018 when the election will be itself. So both the radio and TV they don't exist before President Bill win the election. So I just want to set that record straight. And the reason we make her do that, because where they can begin talk about this wonderful topic where, again, this na topic where a very, very important. Why I say this topic important? Important because this na something where the government can they use as a benchmark, which is good. Where now the MCC report. What do it mean, MCC? It mean Millennium Challenge Corporation Scorecard. So I go tell una all what una need for know about the scorecard. So again, not to this government. I go show una in a moment, say former President Koma, we don't win. What they call a compact agreement with the MCC. And that agreement there, and another reason why as Sierra Leone'S them, I want for let we know say government na continuity. Because where President Koroma win the award day, la put bluntly, but na compact then column. So within the compact, President Koroma win a mini compact. So now something where if you win that compact day, the American government through Congress then get a program, and the main reason for that, now country the way they struggle, we're considered poor. So you poor, you they struggle with plenty things them for push the development of the country, we go reduce poverty. So now the key reason that where they establish this Millennium Challenge Corporation. So no question, Salone now one of the poorest countries. I go show una how Salone rank around the world in terms of poverty assessment. So when you look at that, the program where former President Kuma win, now program where they give you help. You they identify, I go show now, but I just want for lay the foundation. Una go identify the programs them where una want for like this program help una the Millennium Challenge Corporation for like the help una. I go show una again the steps them where they can use, because then get about 4 different steps them where you they eligible, and then you go through them process, then they at each stage they assess again the way how the current administration, and with all fairness, President Koroma, former President Koroma, but they use this Millennium Challenge Corporation also for brag say in government don't do very well. So now I feel say if we just look at this and stop and say, oh my goodness, the government they do very well, we not think critically for assess whether or not the government they do well. We look at other indicators then and assess with government, we go be misled. So I want for straighten this and make una know very well waiting this mean, how una for read this particular scorecard. Not to just waiting the government to say. And we know say the government people and our politicians them. Then go say things them where go show them in a great light. And again, with all fairness, this not a job that they work for so. Because their job depend on the message where they send to the people them, where therefore go to the polls and give them another mandate for continue with their work. So now that make me and you too, where we get a better understanding of their numbers here, a nice for we make the people them get the message in a undiluted way. So then go make informed decision, then go assess the government in a fair way. Not a waiting just the government they say, and me can always go past waiting the government can say. Because with the government, again, America, not just the Salone government. Now America self, you observe, say, the administration, then go say things them where people they want for ye. So the things them way ne they go well, they not get for Trump and that. They not get for Camna media and say, you know what, this ne they go well, but we go improve and stuff. They not go ever do that. So I know they blame the government for that. I know they blame the supporters them of the government for doing that. But me and you too, wherefore watch pass within the government they say, a nice for like we put things into the actual perspective. Let we make people understand exactly what thing they go on. So what thing I go do before I start the ball rolling, I want, because this again na social media review program, and I must say, as I said before, now huge shoes for Phil. I know say Madam Fadima, Mr. Shilon, they're styled and different. But what thing I want for do, I want for show a video. And this person, I want for really take the opportunity for talk a little bit about this person, because the person way to in my own case, again, la play on show na the video, and then I go come and give me an assessment of this particular individual, where in my opinion, we get for be careful of somebody like this. Now we continue. So let us show now the video, and I go tell now who na the person way I refer to now. And I believe say, but often I don't see this video, but again, this is a social media review. So for give opportunity to the people that will not see this video yet, I want for really show now this video, and then I go come right back after the video and continue with the analysis. Una not go no side. Una share this video, una share the program, una like and comment, and I will post the numbers then for call shortly. So let I play for una this video, and I will come right back and let I give me on 2 cents on this particular video, where in my opinion is very troubling. But let I pause here and then show now the video. I will come right back after this video.
The President will come from Belém. We are in assembly with this now today. His Excellency, the Blessed Mando, arrived now.
What's again one? You change government for go inside crime court or fire. You do you vote for Madam Miriam? In your country.
I'm glad my big brother said to stand on that. But there is nothing better than peace. None. For new infrastructure, he said that wherever it comes, they burn the infrastructure. The one they will meet up the world and see what happened 10th of August. A few hours. If this part not to be a diligent soldier, I see him sitting in London, see on television. I believe say that day they not eat breakfast. They sit down in West Lady and I know me they look and say, and the TV no more they look. I know say they communicate with Freetown. If at 3 o'clock, sir, you know be put back of you as a true soldier, like all of inside. And let God bless you. Let God bless you. That of you on the way. I stop halting. That's it. God bless you, sir. So you have peace. He's a comforter. Don't comfort all them and me them. Them picking them. Where we they cry for school. This no one gonna carry bondo. I forget to tell you. I get family school mate. Very clever young man. When we the primary school, then Lamina cannot come. Every morning we get hot mental. But the best story where cannot come in the take beat because when you spell, you come in hospital and you beat him. So as we have the word he say standing carry bondo. We don't know Sabi. So cannot be between. But unfortunately, sir, for 8 shillings and 4 pence, he had to leave school. Let God bless you. Let God bless you. What you have done, I don't think say we this 3 generations will realize that the one the way they can. Let God bless you, sir. So be people now, this team manager, they're also a principal of a school called Leone'S International School. They don't go sit exam for me. They don't pass the exam. They call this exam the MCC qualification exam. Millennium Challenge Corporation. If I don't make, we get 100% for education. We get 100% for the completion of school for girl child. We get 100% for information.
All right, me fumble them. This person where we last listened to na Alpha Khan, we na the current spokesperson for the president. The reason we make us say it troubling, not to that Millennium Challenge Corporation where it talk about the August 10th protesters. The protest where people then protest na Salone on August 10th. It say if at the quote na at the paraphrase, because sometimes I don't get the words them exactly as he put them. It say if the president not be put that 3 o'clock curfew, like they're not for day yonder na the country. So what did they suggest? And they talk about rebel war and stuff. So you see the danger of people then like that. Try for equate, link that August 10th. In my opinion, the civilians them protest because hardship then in the country. And no question about that. I go show now the numbers them in terms of how price them don't go up na Salone compared to other places in Africa. So no question about that. But this man, and let I remind you now the same man, it just happened, I must say, because of I want to delay the program and not be able, but anybody will get that video there, send them to the WhatsApp number. Now the same man it then record them where if they try for get the leadership of APC. Before that, it then a video for encourage former President Ernest Baikoma for go for a third term. He said, Pa, the people elect you. So I don't see any reason why you not for go for a third term. The country wants you. And now the same person this way don't become a spokesperson for the president. They close to the president. And it not go surprise me if it not go be one of the people that were misled the president for begin name fellow Sierra Leoneans them as terrorists for where did they protest because of the hardship of the country. So me fumble them. I want for Leona pass this message. You know where you get direct access to the president. He has to be careful. The president need for be careful. In my opinion, this man, Alpha Khan, not a good person for that country. Imagine if former President Koroma be taking advice for go for a third term. Probably Salone for don't be another Guinea. So now the person this way we all for listen to. Now the person this way qualify for advise the president for be on behalf of for be a spokesperson on behalf of the president. And they say all that kind thing there if the president not be put curfew. Like they're not forbidden in that country they like today. Meaning the country for don't descend into chaos. Ebo, with all the investigation, the only picture where they show of civilian where get gone. Now a picture of a Nigerian rapper where don't die since 2010. So meaning that, then try for find all kind way evidence for sure say you get some civilians them will be all gone. No wonder where the security forces they use live bullet on we brothers and sisters because of the terrible people here with the terrible advice and the terrible perception in the name of politics. In the name of politics, one for send we country into chaos. And now the president and the other folks them in team, they put Sierra Leoneans them against each other. Emi Fambulem. This person like Alpha Khan. No matter what people and say, but me na one individual we go definitely frown upon. I not go even feel self it deserving for be the president in driver. Because as a driver, you go get for interact with the president, let alone a spokesperson. Now we forget about in level of education. Not so that the thing I emphasize now. The point where I try for make now is this person now somebody way is dangerous for the country. So now Dande I want for definitely try for talk about this Alpha Khan. So now what I go do, since I don't put this aside, let we go now to the Millennium Challenge Corporation. And clearly, I want to give the government kudos for some areas, then particularly the education. And again, this is not an endorsement of the policy, the education policy, no. Because I get my own reservation as to how they implement that policy there. From over 15 years where I work in Canada, and the side where I work, I get access to economic data, I should say, around the world. The team, the software what they use, now global software. And when you look at most of the economic policies there, the way how the president go about the education, just at once, spending 25% on the education, 25% of GDP, spending that on education, something when a long term, and disregard short-term policies then where they make people and life better in the short term. And then when you tackle long-term something, you get for do in an incremental fashion. That's not good economic policy. But you're not going to deprive the current for long term. You know why? Guarantee no they say if the next president come, let's say if he win the next election after 10 years, with all the deficit, all the kind ineffectiveness in terms of spending, the next administration will probably reverse plenty of them here we don't do because it's not sustainable. Now make, in my own opinion, in my own professional opinion, not a good policy for tackle long-term goal in that aggressive manner. Salone poll, even the United States, look the healthcare. But people are still they complain of the healthcare. Look the Obamacare, we try for extend coverage. People are still they complain. It still need tweaking. And remember, that is not a universal coverage for every Americans, but then tailor for the people that we're not going to afford. I make them call it affordable healthcare. But yet, it still they face challenges. Because when you want to engage in them programs today, universal, the way we try for make them, you get for weigh in the cost and benefit, and call them cost and benefit analysis. Here is me take. People where they say, oh, the presidents don't do well in health, in education program, in top notch and stuff like that. The intention, without any question or doubt, the intention may be good, and it's still good, but the implementation, now immediate issue with, and even result in waiting the country they go through, so the hardship, because the priorities then shift to something in a long term. And unfortunately, it looked like say the administration now that kind way they in the plan. I don't know who that now the economic advisors to the president and the administration, but now wrong perspective. In any economic policy, you get short term, you get medium term, you get long term goals. But you know, they just use long term, and then you forget about the medium term. And now, close to election, you want to begin think about the short term. No, it's too late. Economic policy can take time for like it feed into the society. So you get for tackle heads on. Do the thing, even though then they say now cosmetic policies and stuff. No, then cosmetic policies then they pave the way for medium and long-term policies. But again, this program not about the education system, now about the Millennium Challenge Corporation scorecard. Again, I want to say boku thank you to una we don't join, and I see me CEO say thank you, sir. No, now you get the thank you, Mr. CEO, for where you don't push VOS to this height. Now me fumble them. Like I show una the scorecard where that they talk about and all that. But again, before I do that, I want for show una a video where the information minister do a social way it be then a Facebook. Somebody send them to me, and the information minister, I want for commend them for that. It do very well in terms of where he establish that platform there for talk to people them. I don't want to join them. I don't know if that platform there, the shifter, the questions them and whatnot, but nevertheless, now a very good start. So me fumble them, let I play the information minister waiting to talk about this Millennium Challenge Corporation scorecard, the MCC, and then I will come to now and sort of build up on waiting he say. Let us show now.
Just before I come to today's topic, this year MCC scorecard don't come up. What's the name? The Millennium Challenge Corporation. That the US government test whether the country there able pass on many criteria. Now 20 indicators. Salone, from when President Bill came power in 2018, we don't successfully pass their test already. This year again, 2022, we don't pass the MCC score. Please for tell una say investing in people there, you know, education get 92%, yeah. Freedom of information get 90%. We pass the corruption score again, and many other things. So as Sierra Leoneans, no matter the political party we belong to, no matter your ethnicity, no matter what side you we will be very proud as a nation. Because this is a country we come out from war, we don't experience some of the most debilitating challenges in our life as a country. We don't go to mudslide, we don't go to serious flooding there, we don't lose lives there, you know. So that anything that may not define over the years. But now we don't come begin see in Sierra Leone with the past MCC scorecard on corruption, with the past scorecard on ruling justly, with the past scorecard on civil liberties, with the past scorecard on investing in people, or all incidentally. So as a country, we fit for celebrate, we fit for gladdy for this. You know, just like I say, irrespective of which part of the political divide you belong, because they not say SLP people, they say Salone don't pass MCC scorecard, and where that money go come, you know. So would it look like say between $400 to $500 million, now the US government will do for them to see how they do. And important for note, then scorecard how they pass, not so we fumble in the marker, not so na SLP party headquarters in the marker. Not to the US government the mark, and they give various people there. Then they do this review here so and give them scorecard here. So this is a very independent review, a very objective review this with Salone the past. And consistently from when President Bill came to power, with the pass this review year. So that means Salone they do many things they were right. So as a country, we're supposed to be very proud for this achievement they have. And what to make we for be proud, apart from, this is a part of the rebranding process. This country, how them is sabi for war, they sabi for corruption, they sabi for bad governance, and all things that they will lead to the war, the mudslide, amputation, the civil war. Now, then they begin to say a lot of good things are happening from here. Good governance they take place now. Would they do well with civil liberties? Would they do well with other things? So this is worthy of celebration. I think so as Sierra Leoneans, and we're supposed to get between $400 to $500 million. I'm not going to talk about certainty now, the complete value of the compact. But once they don't do binding constraints analysis, what's in that name? What's to make this country not to go before? What's in that the thing where they really hold with development back, with aspirations as a country back? Because now the new direction, for example, we talk saying we want a united, peaceful, progressive country where they able to provide basic social amenities for people, where they able to deliver social justice for people, right? So within that, some of them binding constraints, how they make them say, "I know they happen." So we don't identify energy, then electricity, and other one day. So now then money I will use there for resolve this problem of electricity on a very sustainable basis. You know, water on a very sustainable basis. So now some of them things they don't put to the MCC, and then this money inshallah, will work with the various consultants and now for a lot of work on them projects there. Not some money when they can't give us, let us not can say government data. When I know this government in record on accountability and transparency, but still not with the give, right? This money here, now through various companies and through competitive bidding, US farms there, other farms around the world, they can't deliver on their jobs there. So I think that one is very important. So the next important topic we want.
All right, Fambulem. Again, one for tell the minister Boku Tenki. One thing we I like about waiting is say this not a money where they give the government to. Now a program. Again, on a member, I think it was last year, we First Lady, the dance na it, say that they can give Salone 300 million. Then they are misinformation. The minister, I be the wait, and indeed they do. I be the wait till the end. We say we will get about 400 to 500 million. So this na program where they look at, yes, how far you don't go in terms of putting things them in place. Absolutely correct. Where you say we get about 20 indicators then where they look at. And then indicators then you for pass at least half of them, we not 10. For let you pass and let you be eligible. Now underline that word though. Eligible for a compact program. So not something where automatic. So when you pass that 10 day, automatically you they get into the program. No. Then are just one of several criteria them where you forget before they look into the possibility before you become eligible. And when you don't become eligible, then get the steps then. Again, I go show now. Then steps then in a moment. So I just want to clarify this. So a very misleading way people and they think say that they just hand over money give the government. No. That's not a money where they hand over give the government. Now process. And let us not take too much time. Let us show now. I'm going back to the former president, where now Anes by Kuruma, where itself be win a compact program. Let us show una so una go get a better sense of waiting at the try for Senaya. So I know say the writing small, una just be patient. If they see say Sierra Leone threshold program. MCC and the government of Sierra Leone partnered to implement a 44.4 million threshold program to improve access to clean water and reliable electricity, and to support reforms designed to limit opportunities for corruption. So that's now waiting then give President Kuruma in time. Let us show now the detail of that program there. So this now the detail of the program. Let's scroll down a little bit. And maybe let us increase the font so una go better, una go see them better. Okay. So now I want for read, not a long read, because I know say, for read, and it can bore people them. So let I read this, okay? So that first part where I be don't read, but the side where I want for draw to our attention, the breakdown. So when I look at the breakdown now on our screen, so whose term the government, the former administration under President Kuruma, be entered into the program. It was February 16th of 2016. And then sign just imagine, the stem where they sign the agreement. Now, November 17th, 2015. But they actually enter into the program after they don't do initial assessment and all that. They enter into the program in 2016. And look the time where they complete this program. Then complete this program March 30th, 2021. Una see where irrelevant? March 30th, 2021. And again, I want to go back to waiting the minister say, and I want to give kudos. This not to SLPP opportunity, this not to APC opportunity, this not Sierra Leone opportunity. So it really not good for people and they do this and play politics. So if the program starts 2016 and it end under another administration when under President Bill, would that get for take credit? Because it completed under President Bill, so it will definitely be I go say misleading for them take the victory lap. So similarly, within the current administration down they do, and if that compact they go through, by the way, for then they talk as if now something where you go just now every year you get this compact and all that. No, not to the case, my brothers and sisters, at all. So let me show you quickly, just briefly, what it mean, like in terms of this Millennium Challenge Corporation score. So, and how the program they run, me fumble them. Because it's very important for una aware of this. So una then they go help for structure the way how una go assess this. And again, I try not for be too political here, because it not make any sense at all for be political, use this as a political football. And where I begin talk about the scores them from 2017 and all that. I don't know if some of you remember at one time where Mr. Ben Kelfala, where the ACC boss, where he became now VOS. And what happened at that time, Mr. Ben Kelfala, he used the release date, where now be 2018. And think say, no, I think that'll be 2019, my bad. And think say that the current administration in good work, now it make we able score that amount there per the corruption index. So, and that was misleading. I make it clear to them. Again, I'm glad where it come now this program. But because of it take them say, oh, now they good work, what they do, make they able forget that score there and stuff. I say, no. You look at the data point, and I go show now how for it the Millennium Challenge Corporation Index or a scorecard. So let us show una quickly. Again, una bear with me. I try for set the stage here, so una go get a better understanding of the Millennium Challenge Corporation, how it work. So let us show una the agreement. I don't go read all. I just want for show now the agreement between the Compact Development Fund agreement and Sierra Leone, because the compact program now this way then call them Compact Development Funding Agreement. So here is the agreement. So when I look at the agreement, what did it say? The government of the Republic of Sierra Leone acting through the Ministry of Finance for the development and facilitation of implementation of a Millennium Challenge Compact. They don't say SLPP, and I'm glad the way the minister touch on that. They don't say SLPP, then say the government of Sierra Leone, because them program here now for Salone. They expect any government will come for continue with it. And that make way the president be cancel some programs then because of APC start term. I be frown upon that. Some of una will be watch a program where we do. I say a big mistake because it taint the image of the country. It make investors afraid, because if another government come and just cancel a contract with the previous administration we don't sign, it scare investors them. Because when they invest, plenty tell you they invest beyond one administration. So that by itself, now poor judgment and a poor policy. So you need for renegotiate. Now the right approach that. You know, they just come and cancel. You they renegotiate. So I just want to draw on our attention to that. So now look the time where they sign the agreement. Then sign them March 3rd of 2022. So I will kind of go quickly to decide we're very important with respect to the agreement. I just scroll down again. Sorry for una eyes them, but I just want for kind of let una see this part very quickly. This compact development again. Let I highlight them so una go know who's the read. So this Compact Development Funding Agreement, this agreement called, dated March 3rd, 2022, is made between the Millennium Challenge Corporation, a United States government corporation, and the government of the Republic of Sierra Leone, acting through the minister. I don't read that. So the government and MCC are referred to here as the parties, and each individually a party, except as otherwise expressed, provided herein, capitalized terms used in this agreement shall have the respective meaning given such terms in Exhibit A. So this is the side where I want for like una pay particular attention. I just scroll down to what do you mean? Okay, so the first part of the article may fumble them. Again, I want for let una pay particular attention. Section 1.1 of the agreement, what did it say? Now grant, okay? MCC hereby grants to the government under the terms of this agreement an amount not to exceed 11 million. Una take note of an amount not to exceed 11,970,375 US dollars. The grant to fund the activities described in more detail in Appendix A. Section 1.2, financial plan. The grant funding shall be allocated among the activities as generally described in Appendix B, or as otherwise agreed in accordance with Section 7.9 of this agreement. The amount where them put na here, me fumble them. Now about 11 million. So usai the minister pull 400 to 500 million. So una see why we for keep them people here honest. The first agreement we didn't sign, the activities that were involved. Now 11 million, slightly over 11 million. So again, this not to for condemn the administration, now for just set the record straight, keep them honest. 11 million are the agreement. And this agreement now for program. So why again the first lady be the dance say that they give Salone 300 million? Who side them pull their amount there? And then supporters they begin gladly. The government they bring money. Under President Koroma, the program will end under President Madabio. Now be 44 million that program they be worth. And again, not to direct money. I don't want to go into the detail, but I go encourage you now for go to the internet under the Millennium Challenge Corporation at the website, and I go get this agreement. This agreement, the government not even publish them. For let people then go fully understand waiting na the money we involved, the worth of this program, and waiting the program therefore. So again, me fumble them. I want to make them clear. This not to for bash the administration. But however, we politicians them, again, not a work. We get for keep them honest. Because for them go say anything, exaggerate the numbers them. For let me and you two think say that they do way more than what we expect them to do. So because of the misleading information that make a program like this, and I go encourage any Sierra Leonean we get the background make people understand. I go encourage you now for like una do a program we go sensitize people. So again, let we put that aside. Let we come now to the actual scorecard itself. But before I do that though, I want for, again, I don't want for Leona just take me word for it. I want for the show una evidence from the people in SESEF, the source. So you look at this, where did he say the overview of the MCC Compact? Millennium Challenge Corporation, MCC Compact, are 5-year agreements from which the United States provides grants to partner countries to support programs to reduce poverty through economic growth. And I get that very clearly. Now, 5-year program where the government they make like they bring the money right away, all the money. No, a program. 5-year program. So if President Biono win the next election, whoever get for Dede, it get for continue, it get for benefit probably because the program do not start yet. Highly likely, say if President Biono win, the next government na in will benefit from this. And let we not allow that government day for take a victory for waiting President Biono do. Because government are continuity. Just the thing where President Koroma qualify for 44.4 million compact program. And President Bio see the ending of that program day. At least in need for recognize, say the previous administration, I not say they don't know that language they for politics. They not go ever commend certain areas them where the previous administration don't do. And would I get for come after Bill and it will surprise me for like showcase. Because you don't win election done. You know the campaign anymore. So that time when they rule, make them like how the minister put them so. This not for Sierra Leone. Not for SLPP. Not for Sierra Leone. BO go and like I say, if you don't win the coming election, it go the one way they come after. Now him go see the implementation of this program. So here is another thing where I want for draw to our attention, me fumble them. So countries, the second part, let I highlight them very quickly though. Because again, that misleading part where we don't pass the scorecard and then we just feel say automatically they get the compact program. Not to say they work, me fumble them. This side where I highlight is say countries seeking to sign a compact with MCC must first be selected as eligible by MCC's board of directors. Eligible countries are responsible for the development of the compact to which they are expected to commit significant financial resources and high-level attention. What does this mean? It means say the government self get for playing part. The government self get for add some resources as part of their own contribution to this program. And again, not to automatic something. This one way they sign in March, now for the previous year. Not to automatic something at all. And let us show una again another thing where I want for bring to una attention. In terms of the countries them where they select for this latest one. You see, this now one thing where do are big. Let me not put politics into this. And I speak directly to the supporters them of the administration. Some of them thinks here, now we responsibility as Sierra Leoneans. Yes, you get right for support, whatever administration. Now you fundamental human right for belong. But however, it bother me where people and they put political party ahead of the country. And that's completely wrong. Because then we politicians here, we know very well that they go say or do anything for mislead the voters so they go get re-elected. So now una, the supporters, the voters, now una for think critically. If this government, forget about the party, it really help me life better off, I go show now the inflation by region. Maybe then they go help for let una understand and let una help me for answer that question day. If you be better off. So again, this not something where I really want for Sierra Leoneans them. I go open the phone line in just a moment. But I just want for set the stage so people then go fully understand how for assess this wonderful compact program. Let us show una now the score for 2000. The latest score. You know, then put FY when a fiscal year 2023. But I go show una usai una for look. How una for read the scorecard. Because it's very important for let una read them in a better light. Because if una not able for understand how for read them, then it go difficult for let we hold the government to account. For let we say, no, this is not the case. And by the way, nothing wrong. If even your political party, where they're in power, they say the wrong thing, nothing wrong for call them to it. In my own opinion, that is a true definition of a patriot. So now let me show una the score. So this now fiscal year 2023. So una see there, yes, so half scorecard passed. Control of corruption passed. Democratic rights passed. And this is very good. But here is another thing where I want for, let us sort of highlight for draw to our attention though, me fambule, because for whatever reason, some people when they compare this, say, oh, this now against the entire Africa. No, that's also another wrong assessment. So the side where I highlight for una me fumble them, the category where them put Salone. Now a category where the GNI, what did it mean? It mean gross national income per capita. What did that mean? It means say the country in money, then divide them by the country in population. And that they show almost on average a Sierra Leonean person they earn, they make for the entire year. So if una look at that, una go see say Salone, the average person they make for the one whole year, about $510 the whole year. So if you divide that by 365, that's per day. So that translates to $1.40 per day. So me and you two where they are bored, we know very well for let somebody survive by $1.40 a day, a very difficult. And by the way, this is not the overall money of the country and then divide them by the country in population. But if you look, the greedy politicians then, but again, this is not because of just SLPP, going way back to Albert Magai in time. The person where I go exclude, given history, we cannot be born yet, now Milty Magai. So Milty Magai, so far waiting at all read. Impressive. In my opinion, now the best leader than the country will ever produce. All the other one them, I get question mark in terms of the quality, leadership quality, the push for like the Salone, the country better. So I don't want Leona quote me, say me na APC. I tell una clearly, people them way they watch the African Voice Network. I don't care for APC. I don't care for SLPP. I care and loyal to my country, Sierra Leone. And by the way, I want to make it clear, like how I've been on show now, I know they do this for seek the attention of the government so I will get position. No. I get a very decent job. Again, I know they brag. So I did do this for the love of my country. For let people able make informed decision so we go elect the people who will push the country go before. Not to just with them lie pa una go vote for them, no. So now one aspect that way I want for let una see. Again, the reason we make I highlight this category, I highlight them for let una know say the category where Salone belong. Now a very poor category. Then look at countries then where they make below or equal to $2,045 per year. Like per capita. For let una understand the perspective, let us show una Ghana. Again, I will come to the scorecard in a moment. But let's show una Ghana for let una know say the categories then different. And this now another thing the way I want for draw to una attention. You know, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know how to put them. Where the administration, they so use this Millennium Challenge Corporation as a benchmark. That is wrong. Because the group where them group Salone, now it's poor countries them, the poorest countries them of the world. Now tell una it's just like America, for people that we don't understand, America then get one system, even in school, where then group students them where they within the A category, then puts them in one class. Student then with the B category, then puts them in one class, and C and D. So you look at that categorization day, you can say them put we now a class of D. People that were poor. So where we they do slightly more than that category, they poor people them, then we say they don't do well. No. A very, very wrong yardstick. Yes, it's nice for getting programs here, but we need for talk about when Salone will come up from that category day. That's the one way I want to see this Millennium Challenge Corporation. The politicians, they talk about that. And if you say they ever don't mention the category, says Salone be amongst the poorest countries in the world. And let's show now precisely how Salone rank in terms of poverty in the world. So this list where they show now, so now the poorest countries them, now the entire world, not just Africa, now the entire world. Salone can number 5. So Salone are the 5th poorest country in the world. So now see why the Millennium Challenge Corporation try for help Salone. So as a matter of fact, yes, it's nice for like we celebrate this, but we for celebrate them in a somber way. We for celebrate them with caution, my brothers and sisters. Because the category where they put we, Salone, the 5th poorest country. Now the entire world. Now then kind indicators then we want for make the administration, even the previous administration, not able for tell we. Say where we take office. Salone now be the 5th poorest country. Now where I don't take office, where I don't complete my first term, Salone don't come out from being part of the top 10 poorest countries. That's not improvement. Not to the improvement them way I go call cosmetic improvement, and still we then at the bottom. And then you they talk about, oh, we don't do very well and stuff. No. To me, let we not accept that from politicians then. Then do little things. And then we they all over social media. They praise them. Waiting that they do, and then they give them the incentive for innovate, my brothers and sisters. So again, as I go show now, whose category Ghana Day. So let us show now Ghana. Again, I will come to the interpretation very shortly. So Ghana, as soon as they see on the screen, I scroll now for like I show now Ghana. So look at the category where they put Ghana. So Ghana, the category where they put Ghana, now between 2,046 to 4,255. So what do it mean? They assess Ghana, which is true. Say Ghana richer than Salone. But to me, now this kind of thing for they think about how we go able for go into that same category as Ghana. And what in this mean? It mean that we for bump up the per capita income. We for push economic growth. So we go come off from that 560 per capita dollar a year and move to Ghana is over $2,000, even though it's still not sufficient given the cost of inflation And I go show na Ghana inflation in just a moment. So this is not the thing where I want for bring to our attention. Before I begin talk about the specific scorecard, let I show una Liberia, because it's very important though for they look at we neighbors and let we see how they do. Because me want for we they compare. Let we not just look at, say, oh, we cherry pick the indicators the way they look at. No. Let us show now Liberia. Liberia, yes, as soon as see Liberia self there among the 10 poorest countries. Even though Liberia, they're richer than Sierra Leone, given that indicator way that they use, even though with GDP higher. But when you look at with population, you look at Liberia than population, Liberia richer than Sierra Leone. But that don't mean say the Liberian people have to take victory lap, because Liberia still considered as one of the poorest country on earth. So now the 9th poorest country. So then they try small for come out of the top 10 poorest countries. So Salone, we there far first. And this actually, as of 2021, and the latest we then get. So here is Liberia, as I be tell una patient with me, la build me case. Because I want for let Salone people them fully understand this, what it mean for the country and for even the administration. Whether or not to forget and credit for that, I go left that judgment they told her, and me no go into that. But this is Liberia. So when I see Liberia, now the same category them put we. I don't know if the Liberian government they use the MCC report. I don't know, but I know they much for them. But I don't know if then they use the MCC report as a way for brag compared to Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone, they use this MCC report for everything as a way that the government don't do well. Liberia, they get all the scores. But yet they not pick them for any compact program. So what are they saying here? Are they say for emphasize the idea where the government get immediately you pass the score, you they get 400 to 500 million. Liberia passed the score, but I not even choose them for be part of the compact program. So let me answer on a question. Now let we go to the score proper. Okay, let we see how for read this report. Let we look at them. So I dey show una how for read the score. Again, I dey do all this for let people not say, oh, I bias in me analysis and stuff like that. No. I really want for let una understand how for read the score. So una self go make informed decision. So this now example. Every year, each MCC candidate country receives a scorecard assessing performance in 3 policy categories: ruling justly, investing in people, and encouraging economic freedom. So this is sort of increase. I hope so now they see I'm a lot better. Okay. So now you look at what's in there on the screen. Una read usai is a median. Let una know say not to all African country. So median or threshold score for countries' income group It's based on your income. So in brackets, there's a country score must be greater than this score to pass. So now the income group, that category, and we own category possibly go include Afghanistan, where we all know how corrupt Afghanistan be. And let us show now Afghanistan in a moment, for like una get a better understanding of what they talk. Now, this I go back and then choose Afghanistan. So look at Afghanistan, my brothers and sisters. So the same category, then put we with Afghanistan. So look at all red for Afghanistan. But interestingly though, me fumble them. Salone, again, I want to let we look at this in a critical way. If you look at Afghanistan, fiscal policy, where I go say now the bread and butter issue of a country, Afghanistan score way better than Sierra Leone. So me fumble them for past 10 out of 20, not doing anything, no. To me, it just tell like where you picking. In fact, not just you picking. Boku exams then they for like you go to like entry level or whatever it is. Let me take example to law school. You get certain subjects then when are core. Where boku disciplines then go tell you say you need for pass English and math. It's rather unfortunate that they're not emphasized by this Millennium Challenge Corporation scorecard. But for me, now one mistake that we didn't do, because I feel say two major categories the way you're supposed for pass, indicators the way for pass, without which I let you pass 18. If you not pass them two, then you for fail. The first one, fiscal policy. Because this fiscal policy, I go show una waiting in mean. Let us sort of select the indicators. So una go know why I think say the fiscal policy very important. So let us click on the fiscal policy indicator. So this now the indicator and the relationship between growth, economic growth, and poverty reduction under the fiscal policy indicator. Me fumble them. So under the fiscal policy indicator, it say unsustainable fiscal deficit. Me fumble them deficit. When I underline that word there because I go show na Salone deficit. Unsustainable fiscal deficit can impact economic growth by raising expectations of inflation or exchange rate depreciation. We dey talk about inflation. Una see, this is from the Millennium Challenge Corporation, which in economics, fiscal deficit, government unsustainable spending, especially that spending when they bring significant growth. It put pressure on prices. So what they talk about inflation. I go show now the deficit in a moment. So here is a simple way of fighting inflation. But unfortunately, because the Bank of Salone, the bank governor of Salone, and other people were responsible, well, particularly the bank governor, they're not going to do that. Try for restrain the government from unnecessary spending, from reckless spending, and try to manage the deficit. But instead, then go just take a blank check to the government, particularly the president. And then una want for let by magic inflation improve? No. No. With this reckless spending, inflation go continue for rise. Again, I go show now the inflation numbers. So, and again, you look at the depreciation of a currency. Salone currency, my goodness. You don't go right home about the currency. You don't go proud of the way how we currency they depreciate. So there's a connection. And that's the Millennium Challenge Corporation. They try for show we the connection between growth, the relationship between growth and poverty reduction. We need for take that if then we pass the fiscal policy, I go jubilate. But clearly, the thing that we then pass, it is show clearly say, then thing and they then kind of not they in sync with the development of the country, with economic growth. And they use the scorecard now where then they use for campaign. Now let me read on fiscal deficits. Driven by current expenditures, decrease national savings and put upward pressure on real interest rates, which can lead to a crowding out of private sector activity. In economics, we call that crowding out effect, where the government they choke the economy because they spend too much. And when they spend too much, it causes inflation. And where inflation, one way for fight them, now for put the interest rate up. And when you put the interest rate up, the private sector not go able for for borrow money at a rate where then go able for payback. So it discouraged them. So when I see the link, how reckless spending of a government they lead to inflation, in higher interest rate, depreciation of the currency, and low growth. I use the word reckless because you get some spending there where government they spend if the private sector not spend for like the engine, for starts the engine and gets the engine going. So then call that one day by economics multiplier effect. But the way how we government they spend, it need to multiply. Instead, it lead to leakaging, which we call economic leakage, because they take the money outside of the country. Supporters them of the current administration. And sadly enough, I've been listening to one of our brother, I think Mike Berewa also, they justify, say President Bio supposed for the fly, so it will bring economic growth. No, that's completely wrong. President Bio in presence not needed everywhere for economic growth. No, you need for concentrate on fiscal policy. When you get strong fiscal policy, people where they invest, they want for put their money aside where they go be where the money will be profitable. You don't need presence not needed. If you come, you get a meeting with me and tell me XYZ, then I not see policy then favorable for go invest. I go invest because you can't tell me say for go invest? Absolutely not. And it is say the previous administration, I want to make it clear. This is not in support of the previous administration. But the example where Iggy, it said the previous administration, they go na McKinney on holidays and rent hotel and stuff. Guess what? They're within the country. It help for increased economic activities. Because that hotel where they rent, that hotel owner, they go employ more people them, and then people then go to market, go buy tin them, and then tin and the people where they sell them tin and they then go make profit, and then self feed them, picking them and stuff. So you see how it trickle? And the same thing again with where government invest in infrastructure because of the people where they employ and that trickle down effect, where they call multiplier effect. But when they fly out of the country, now Salone get the airline? No. The hotel where you they lodge with all you people them, now Salone hotel? No. The money where you they spend on food and all that thing and they now Salone people and get them business and they no. So you they take money out of the economy for go promote other economy outside of the country at the world. So Mr. Berewa, now wrong analysis you make. That comparison there is flawed. Yes, I had no say una they do una political argument and stuff, but some thinking they una need for think critically before una channel an argument. Let's finish the reading of this part, so we will move on to analyzing the indicators very well. So the sideway has stopped. In addition, fiscal deficits either force the government to increase taxes, reducing the capital available for domestic investment, or to increase the stock of public debt. So when I see why it's important, now let us then talk about deficit, then talk about public debt. Let's show now then two indicators then they. And una tell me if this administration they in the right direction. We need for call them. And I go show now back the previous administration, how reckless them be in terms of spending the country money, the public money. Now let us show you now. First, the deficit. What's in a deficit before I show now? It means government they spend more than what they get in terms of revenue. May you to know, say if business people and do that, then business they go bankrupt very quickly. And the same thing to me and you too. If we they spend more than we pay check, what's going to happen? You always stay in debt. And by the time you know it, you don't get in trouble. You're not go able for buy house. You're not go able for do anything. We go improve your life. So you go just stay in a debt spiral. Now similar where I want to see the government. Now let's show una the deficit. So this na Salone deficit. And I take in 10-year period. Let una go get a better understanding of the previous administration. Because sadly enough, I don't talk during my last program, one of my programs, the African Voice Network, where my brothers then they talk about Anescoma, say now the leader for life, now the best world leader. Absolutely, that's terrible. That's shameful. For like with this kind number, una they say now the world best. My goodness. So again, I don't want to labor too much about Anescoma because there's no we can change the past. So what we can do the past, we can use the past for we learn from it and then see how we can able shape the future for a better Sierra Leone. And that side I will focus on me fumble them. Now let we look at the deficit. So you look at the deficit now, me fumble them. Look at Usa with the right now. As of 2021, this now the debt, the country in deficit as a percentage of GDP, 7.1%. So una tell me the past 4 years of President Bill in administration, you go look at the numbers here, you say the government discipline, me fumble them. The answer is very clear. And let's go back slightly to 2013, me fumble them. Before I talk about 2013, let's show una the GDP growth during 2013. Me fambulem. How Salone be they grow during intending day 2013. Because when we use that perspective there, we go able get a better understanding of saying, okay, well, from this perspective, meaning that you continue to grow, but yet you get a deficit. So whose term now you go able for get a surplus? If the term then where you continue to grow in a the fastest pace around the world, I should say, and yet you get a big deficit. If I'm bullying, I don't know how you go call that person there in your own way, like youth critical thinking, and call that person there saying as the world best leader. And I just know. And to me, now some of them things here are they say enough fear for the country at all. For leg supporters, then they mislead the vulnerable people them. Let's show una this. So this now the annual growth of GDP na Salone. 2013, Salone grew the fastest, I think, in Africa and probably the world at that time, at the fastest growing country. 2013, Salone GDP we grow by 20.7%. 20.7%, the fastest growth rate, I believe, around the world at that time. But look at 2013. Still, the government of Ernest Bai Koroma then gets a deficit of 2.4%. So whose term the country for be able get a surplus? If you grow at over 20%, you still not able for balance your books for like at least the revenue is equal to the spending. Then tell me, now when you grow now at 3-4%, you go balance the books, and then when I call our world best, I don't know say the world best come out, but from the economic aspect, I don't know if I go say world best. So again, let I go now because I know say I don't take so much time, but I really want to let una fully understand their analysis here and their indicators here, what they mean. So let I go now to the proper assessment. Okay, the scorecard. Let I go to the scorecard. And I will bring Salone up because I go through the program in the pages. Let's pull Salone up. So this is not a scorecard for Sierra Leone. So in terms of fiscal policy, it's sad that Afghanistan even get better fiscal policy than Sierra Leone. So since Koroma in time, consistently, Salone don't they fail economic development, fiscal policy. Inflation, that's an interesting one. So Salone, according to ya, I want to pay attention to the date. So until now we don't see how for read them. Again, let maybe show una quickly how for read them. So una see how for read them, you see the year na ya, you go find out say now the time them of the data point, they tend them where they do the survey. Una not pay attention to the time where they publish this report. Because that mistake they Mr. Ben Kelfala do na VOS program. he emphasized on the time when they published the report. The time when they published this report now last week. So, but for the inflation, the last data, the last year where they look at for do this assessment now 2021. So it shows say the inflation during 2021 and 11.9% inflation. But me fumble them, let Akeuna go to the Salone website, the Salone statistics. The reason we make decide for use the statistics of Salone website, now for let una go get a better understanding of waiting at the current inflation and let una see how the regions them compare. So let we click on CPI, we're at the inflation, and let we click on as of September 2022. So when I look at this, now this one I want to see. Maybe let's increase some small. Again, me fumble them way they talk about, oh, the country better and all that. When I look at the numbers here, so as of September 2022, the inflation, the national inflation year over year, now 29%, 29.1%. And yet the minister, and IBC, Mr. Senge, self they talk, say, oh, Salone, no, they do bad at all. They use this 2021 number. They not tell you about the current inflation. We're at 29%. And now let we look at the regions them. We fumble them. Let we critically look at the regions them. You know, people where they feel say, you know, if an APC, the Northerners, then they benefit. If na SLPP, the Southerners, the Southeasterners, then they benefit and all that. And Mr. Shillon consistently they say in this program, say na nonsense. Then two parties they're not good for Salone. So the national inflation now 29%, the Western area now 25.49%, the Eastern region now 26%. Look at the Southern region when our SLPP stronghold. The Southern region 38.2%, way more than the national average. The Northeast region, now 26%, below the national average. So you tell me, if you then at the South, you go tell me, say, things them better off? Tell me, be honest to yourself. With prices increasing at the South more than the national average, and then they brag and say, things them better off? Hey, both people, we need to be honest to ourselves. We really need to be honest to ourselves. And when you compare Salone, because the last time the president, they say, oh, things that don't go up all over the world and stuff like that. Absolutely, that's true. But let we compare Salone in terms of Africa. Who says Salone Day? Salone, the prices, the increase in prices. Look at this, my brothers and sisters. Salone now the 5th in terms of inflation. And this, by the way, now as of August. That's last August of this year. So the current one, now September. So with this, you go tell me, and let's show now Liberia, me fumble them. Liberia, as of August, 6.48%. Salone, the inflation, na Salone, at 28% in August, and now in September, look at the amount, 29%. So you tell me, you look at this, why you for agree and say things them better off? Anyway, I know say I don't go too far. Let I open the phone line. I go encourage you for call. Let I from una. Una can ask many questions. As long as una do them respectfully, and I go try for be as civil and respectful of una opinion as well, because definitely me believe in democracy. It not necessarily means say way this na my platform I go stifle una opinion. No. So the phone lines they're now open, and if them una can call. Let we talk about this, and let una tell me exactly if the country, the economy of the country, they in the right direction. If they go in the right direction, una tell me. Una be honest to una self. Me them. So again, I want for say boku tenki. So una always don't join we, and una feel free for comment, and while I do that, let I display some of the comments, and while I wait for the phone calls, so una go able for see some of the comments them, and let una know say they try for be as fair as possible. And kind of try for display some of the comments there. And by the way, as I say, the phone lines they're open, and now the numbers than that. I want to say boku tanki to Aminatu Sanusi, and for where you join and you say hello VOS, and Fambuldem, good evening from my side. Happy blessed, thank you Sunday. And so Aminatu, they say again, hello, Mr. Tarali, welcome, sir. No, this is Mr. Kagbo, not to Mr. Tarali. This is not a former CEO. And I want to say boku tenki to Zeki Sise. Thank you so much for where you join we. And I want to say again, boku plenty tenki to Fode Mustafa Toure. And you say, welcome back, Mr. Kagbo. No, I don't comment. I just they do this number on behalf of Mr. Shilon and Madam Fadima and Mr. Shilon. But again, from time to time, I go come as guest, because I know I've been all retired for host a program from VOS. So now I want for Tony I to Africa in general, like do some analysis as to how I think, say, Africa will be a better place. Even though they say charity start at home, but I don't start them. Na mi country, and a pasangi, a fine gentleman, where now the current CEO and the team, where they do a fantastic job. So this person in name, I don't see him, display. Say hello, Mr. Kagbo, hello, my awesome, amazing VOS family. Thanks for coming back every Sunday to join in the conversation. Salone, we all on. Absolutely. Please share and like the page. Absolutely. Thank you very much. And Sal Kabase, best way to put it, fear those two men. Well, again, I don't want for we bring this as a political, like a tribalistic thing. For me, any many brother, Timni, Loko, Limba, they all know me brother, know me Salone brothers them. And Fatima Bangura say Alpha Khan is a traitor, period. Well, I left you with your judgment. You call Fufana Mohammed AB. You call August 10 insurrection as protest. I not think say you day at your right mind. Thank you very much for that your assessment day. Now you see now this now a problem. Plenty time, again, not to insult to you, sir, but plenty time we need to use with judgment. We need to do critical analysis. The government, the police them, Now they escalate the situation. Now they fire tear gas. Now they get gun. Now they use live bullet. So tell me, how you not go call them protest? Instead, people then say insurrection. Watch the meaning of insurrection, me brother. And tell me, if you be watch the video before the police them fire tear gas, if any form of violence be present before they start for fire the tear gas, tell me, me brother, if you watch the videos then. So when you do that and do a critical analysis and then come back and challenge me. So I go stop at that. And I also say Sal Kaba, former vice president and second in command of the past regime, now SLPP member. Now in right though, now in fundamental human right for joining SLPP if you wish. To me, that's not sufficient for Basham because it is practice in fundamental human right, where they call freedom of association and assembly. So if I associate with whatever organization it thinks say benefit them, it believe in their ideology, and not necessarily means because it will be vice president under APC if we're stuck with APC for life. No. If we think that way, I think we not be truthful to ourselves, because anybody can left APCS and go to SLPP. The same thing, SLPP go to APC or NGC or any side. That's a fundamental human right. The thing when me they are against though, for letting people then they, given their mentality, the way how do they see things, then try for influence the current administration or any administration where they come after. Now then they get issue with, because then people then they're very, very selfish. It's all about waiting that they get from them people, the government, and for put plenty money in their pocket. So now you don't take that. I agree. Apology accepted. Say sorry, Mr. Kagbo. Is your name made a mistake? Yeah, absolutely. I understand that. And Usman Kamara say you are definitely not in your right mind to think otherwise. I'm not sure exactly. Within the Fato, if not somebody else. Lamin Denke, thank you very much. You say, good to see you again, former CEO. Thank you. And I really thrilled for the year. And we brother Fofana Mohammed, they say, Alpha Khan, a politician, in right for associate with any government, make we respect a right and opinion. Absolutely. And that I just say. A get right for do that, but for lack a try for use, waiting happen August 10th, instead of them sympathize with the people that were lost their loved ones as Sierra Leone'S them, it try for flame fan out the flame of war and try for give credit and try for think say that protest day for be result into war. My goodness, I don't question a right for associate, I don't question a right for assemble, but I question in judgment given in position. And then they are question. I hope that they answer the question, sir, or handle your concern. So Ganda Ba says some people don't even know the meaning of insurrection from demonstration. Thank you, my brother. Again, let me not insult anybody, but go look at the word insurrection from protest. I want to say Boku thank you to Martha Bangura for where you did watch, and I saw 2 days Kalon. Thank you, say Mr. Kagbo, founder of VOS Network. Welcome again. Thank you so much, Sister Isatu. Thank you. God bless. And Memuna to Safa, they say good evening, Mr. Kagbo and everyone. Thank you. And Kunku, they say Juma Mubarak. Thank you very much. And they say Ibn, they dance out of unusual ignorance. I believe say they refer to the First Lady, and I believe say it's supposed to be the responsibility of the people that we understand how to read the scorecard. Let the First Lady understand say this is not a 5-year program and not to tell whether they give physical money. that program that they make. And yes, some thinking day where the government don't assess and then choose their young contractors them, then go channel the money. But not to say now all the time that they give them physical money. And like how I be show una the first thing where they sign, the amount where the program go cost now slightly over 11 million. So I don't know who side and pull then 400, 300 million or them big millions then they. So I just want for set the record straight. And Kunku, thank you very much. And I appreciate your kind words where you say you are a very good analyst. And I do them in a way that people can able to understand. So they will take something out of this program and make an informed decision where it comes to the polls. If they feel, say, you know what, President Bill, we don't get any better choice for give him another chance for like a sort of resolve some of the mistakes that we don't make. Absolutely. All me they try for Dunaya is I want try for straighten the record. That way where people and they go to the polls, then go able for know exactly who side then for put them ballot. Now just that's how they do. And thank you again, Memuna too. Say yes, we are Sierra Leoneans, and that where our loyalty lies. Absolutely. And thank you again. So this is so far the most educative, bias-free, positive analysis of Sierra Leone I've heard in the social media for a very long time. Thank you. You're a true patriot. Thank you so much, Sniper007, where they watch we from we Facebook page. And Memuna too, they continue for say, thank you, Mr. Kagbo, for this great analysis on MCC scorecard. And I want to say again, Boku, thank you to Yaya Bundu Kamara. Say, Mr., you are really educative and enjoying your analysis. Keep pushing hard, sir. Thank you so much. And I want to say, Boku, thank you to KK. ZK, say first, the president called them terrorists and then insurrection. He was trying to find a comfortable description that will look aligned with the USA on January 6th. Thank you very much. I like that. I like that. You see, again, to me, where I be they present, I can like where people and they do this. Because you they give your opinion, and if I'm wrong, I will definitely apologize. Yes, the president be the final way for compare with January 6th. Think about the purpose of January 6th. The purpose for overturn the will of the people. And that's not the purpose. And where to some extent, it even treasonous for do that. So you know they compare somebody where, like I say, the administration not giving no evidence of any Salone person, any civilian will be all gone that day. They're not giving no evidence that I don't ever see them. If you don't ever see video or picture of a Salone person when a civilian will be all gone, but could people have the record? Be the video, the event, different parts of freedom. I don't see any video where show civilian they're all gone. So tell me, Alpha Khan and other people and they suggest say na attempted coup, how you go overthrow a government from all the way Makeni, from all the way Waterloo, till you go na State House. And the State House where you they go, people are all gone. They're all lethal weapons. You get stoned for go overthrown. Who say you they pass? So people are need for think critically though. So again, this is not something where I they appeal to me brothers and sisters when are SLPP supporters. Now on the right for support the administration. But waiting no fear for like una turn blind eyes to them politicians here for bring divide in that country day, for put we against each other and where them tag you brother, you sister for Forget about being APC or NGC or other party, where then tag them as terrorists. Waiting they first come na you mind. Now enemy. And that's wrong. It's completely wrong. So that make we all for stand up and say no to then kind assessment then kind classification then kind category then. Do you are beg me brothers then? We don't want other war in that country because this political tension, this divide, are really one for we tone down the rhetoric among we Sierra Leoneans them, amongst APC, SLPP, NGC, C4C, and independent. Let we assess the policies. Let we not take the politicians them their rhetoric, because all they want now for let them win the next election. And remember now all tactics for divide una so then go conquer. Because when they divide una not go concentrate on the policy. Instead, una go concentrate on each other as enemies. Till una go re-elect the wrong people them again. So dear are big. Both APC, SLPP supporters and NGC and all the other political parties, una assess the policies. And from time to time, I will come as guests, panelists. Once we don't get people, then we come out as candidates for the other political parties and don't put out their policies. Given that my own professional side, now as economist, I will look at the fiscal policies and then assess. Give una me honest assessment. But in the meantime, but let we go back to that Salone where me and you two know. Where as Timney man, your best friend can be a Mende brother or sister. And you Limba brother, Limba sister. What we used to, where we they watch the professionals. Now fun we they make. And not with animosity, not with grudge, not with hatred, not just fun with the professionals. Then they make fun of Timniman accent. I remember Ruko, where that Timni woman where they portray, and Pabangura, where they portray in Limba accent. People and they laugh, but you not go ever take them as something serious. For go after your Limba brother, after your Timmy brother, after you Mende brother. Let we go back to that Salone where we used to. Yeah, let we rethink. Let them politicians here, because they don't fail the country. Look the hopeful numbers there. From APC, from Anescoma in time to now, look the terrible economic numbers there. And yet, will they say that one day better pass that one day? And look right now, the South, the inflation rate is more than the national average. Then you tell me, say, as Southerners, this now you government, so you forfeit your Timney brother, or you forfeit your Limba brother. But they allow not to do their mistakes, then they. Them politicians here, not their job. They try for secure. And sadly enough, it be at una own expense for fet each other. Let me appeal to me Mende brothers them and sisters them. And all the people that they support SLPP. Now you're right. Now you fundamental human right. But you are big. If politician like that August 10th, I be expect say as Sierra Leoneans, we for don't condemn the president and all the other people them. We try for use terrible language for describe we brothers and sisters and we protest. We, by the way, not a fundamental human right. And another reason we then give, because not a stronghold of APC. That's sufficient for Leona call them insurrection. Why una not think say now because they're more comfortable? We got a call. Let me try for take this call and I will continue. VOS Network. Hello, caller. Waiting your name and who say you they call me from?
Good evening. Good evening from my side, Mr.
All right.
Cargo. This is Fode Mustafa from Leicester.
Go ahead,
I just,
sir. Waiting you take.
I just want to give me a small take on the topic the way we discussed today.
Sure.
Particularly for Salah, just touch quick on Alpha Khan and Victor Fo. Everybody in that country, they know who these people are. These are the most incredible people that way they don't get any credibility. They are fighting for their properties. Then are people who be afraid to see the COI have been serious something. So in case then they come for their property, let them just declare one term. These are the guys, so nobody will take them serious. As I don't know, as now we don't talk say now the same guy this way we dey talk say and it's going for go for a third term. So
At third time, yes.
he says who he is. Secondly, I come to this MCC shortly. You know, this is a sad thing where he be say instead of them care about say what the voters are saying, what the people of Salone are saying. No, now what in America they say. What in America they say in America now, they young citizens now what they want, now what their concerns are. Now in them they take say they address those issues. But we Salone government, sadly, not to what people they want to, what they want them all. Now waiting the West want, they talk about. Now in them they show interest over. And I say don't they? So for the longest of time. So if you look at those figures within the right, so you will know that these are political figures. You know that these are political figures because maybe they were supporting the change of governance and then they don't come, they give them. Like you don't see fiscal policy for them be number one who for pass. Because if they say this man want go university, you fail English, you fail with a 9, they tell you they go school. How they go write chemistry, how they go write physics. They don't take you. So if we fail physical policy, that means we don't feel the most important of all. I always talk about. Then they go right property. How you go talk say we pass governing justly, freedom of I didn't call the other one them. How for political something. All of those things, it's not possible. Because when you check PPRC, when you check the NEC, when you check all of those things, we get for talk about those kind of things, civil liberties. They're not a country where they're not they protest, then they go past civil liberties with 90%. Freedom of information, when they talk say we they do well. The information where you want for get, they get them. Now the information where government want for give any. Where they make this COI, now in Charles Magai ask them, he say how much will I spend? Till today, they say, oh, if you don't address the letter to somewhere, but who say you address the letter to? They don't answer the question. They should have just answered the question, not to who they address it to. They know what tell we. These are very important. This is something very important. Now the money where they go spend for print the money, we know they know. This is very important. This is not very, very important information. Now we see if we at these struggling times we get money for who print money. Where they make sense. So now all of these things then they talk to, then they write here corruption. Corruption, everybody knows the corruption wouldn't affect. Now mostly opposition corruption. All waiting Africanist press don't alike, so nobody not even want ask the question. Or then go open and say, hey, look, even the latest one where they talk about the procurement for the polls. Nobody know what they say, so I'm gonna sign contract now, yeah, how it be, how it not be. No, it's not important. Anyway, I just say I'll give a small take on the issue. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And I'm glad the way you put say we need to ask question. And the possible way they ask question, look what thing then do. Then suspend them. But again, now there will be another discussion. So let me take another call. And thank you, my brother. God bless. VOS Network caller, what's your name and who say you call from, please?
It's Ezekiel. They call from Washington.
Hello, brother Ezekiel. Thank you so much for calling. And what do you take on the program tonight, sir?
Thank you so much. I really are glad and let you analysis we do for we today, take step by step. So first, I want to look at the money way First Lady been they dance about. I wish I know say people and then at the government way, then they definitely probably look at that whole proclamation they as something where they all they frown on them. But then they're afraid for come out because when it go out there and declare saying that this money they come, then people then go hold them accountable by looking at if you not be tell we say when they get that kind of money they come, what thing would they see they happen with that money? Because the people they're not be able to go into the reading, into all this reading about how much no, then they read into what thing they happen on the ground. This is why during the COVID issue where it stifle economy, and we know now what thing they happen with inflation. But when the people they not honest for explain things to we, and versus waiting, then they spend for themselves, then they left the people in limbo. That don't that them people here then don't come, and a lot of projects don't stop. Iron ore projects, they work. If they sit down and explain this to people and the COVID combination versus less traveling, because if they tell we about the hardship, yet they spend thousands of dollars to millions on traveling, then they confuse the people But thank you so much. They try for explain them, then the politics side, go down. Everybody they come, they get support, and the supporters always go Trump, taunt, whatever you call her, then go speaker, then good name. So that other people and go believe say yes, this is not the best. But when we begin to analyze, we know say things are not there in line. And maybe make that post in terms of the insurrection, where the president became forced, he called people and terrorists. And so where it begins to see a little bit of pushback from corners and other places, so he changed them for alignment with the U.S. insurrection where it happened. It's not going, and then fail for even see the people that you're concerned with when they happen. This was definitely not the condone the killing of people for police and civilians. But at the same time, if you want to be honest and show love to your people, and you also look at the situation that the Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, just before you go though, I want to clarify that 2013. The deficit, now annual deficit, not to the previous, not a compounding, not to say they take the previous one and stuff. No, now the annual. So what they say is, remember where GDP, I believe, say from the way you talk, you maybe get understanding of what in GDP mean. GDP mean the monetary value of all the things that they produce in a Salone, goods and services produced in the country. So the more activities, the more you expect government for your revenue. So if they go at 20%, you still your revenue supposed to be significantly increase. Even with that revenue increase, you still spend more than the revenue where you get. So that means you're reckless in your spending. Because now during that time there you for able for post surplus. Because you get plenty activities where they go on at the country, where they bring more revenues for you. So now that make us say,
what if they show we the financial statement of what that expenditure was? Would that make it a little bit better for long we understand that? Because if they have tremendous project where they go on, where for take a chunk of that growth income, would that be a little bit
me brother, you see now that make they say unfortunately I don't know that are the economic advisors, but me nearly at this point I know they advocate for job now and stuff. But the term them where you for take let we take your word for it, where you they take massive project where for push you in deficit. Now the term them where the economy is slow. So when you do that, they boost economic activities. But if activity is very strong and still you they overspend, then call them overheating. You they overheat the economy. So when that they happen, it even ignite inflation more. I don't want to be too technical now, but talk and come, not too good excuse dandy. Say, oh, where the country they boom, then the government at the time they take project and stuff. No. The right time for take project now where the economy get what you call slack. And then you use them projects then they for boost the economy. And then they you can do deficit spending. And now in be happen during COVID where the advanced countries them then go into deficit and boost people them so then go able for sustain themselves during difficult time. So now if they don't go past COVID, then try for say, oh, we still need for spend as we they spend under COVID, then go kick them out of office. So I just want to make that very clear. Not use that argument there for convince people like me where nadane are they do as bread and butter issue. Like basically me living Nandi for do all the analysis here. So, but again, I want to tell you Boku Tenki because I see other people in there on the line. But I just want for make them state say if they spend massively, the term then where the economy they do extremely well at 20%, they're not able for spend within the revenue.
The limit.
Then go beyond. No, that they too much. I don't see, in fact, when they look back, I don't see that development they will go justify for post a deficit, even when the country they grow, the country economy they grow at 20%. To me, then they not do best practice at all. So thank you very much, sir.
I guess then push the spending to expectation of 2014 income.
Exactly. And to me, and that make way that Ebola hit now, they not get much money at all for get the country out of it. So waiting happy now, la poster, la show now back the graph in terms of the GDP. So waiting happen where they overspend during the time where we get good days. 2015, Ebola hit. You see what happened? The country contracts, the economic growth, it reduced by 20%. So then they're not able for get money in a corner where for able for reduce that impact the. So now wrong economic policy for say you still post a deficit even where you economy they go at 20%. But thank you again, my brother, for where you calling, and I hope you make my point clear to you, sir.
Definitely, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So all right, let me take more calls. The program can normally take 2 hours. But I know say with me, and unfortunately I the try for present the African show. But again, let me take additional call. Maybe I go suspend that show for put me country first. All right, let me take this call and somebody there on the line. VS Network, hello caller. What's your name and who say they call from, please?
Okay. Please, hello?
Yes, sir. You on live.
I don't like, oh, thank God today I will get to now. Most of the time I can call the wrong time.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, please. What's your name and who say they call from? Know your name? Okay, thank you. Go ahead, sir. Mr. Umar.
Okay. I don't listen to your analysis. But I think say the country most of the time when it kind in terms of economic issues, most of the time would watch the wrong side. You know, maybe feel say like what in the government before don't do instead of then concentrate on donors driven so sources for get money for at least for development or that thing, then for don't make soft loan for the Sierra Leoneans, because that's not the problem now Salone right now. For make the normal Sierra Leone access a loan at that country very difficult. And everything, with all of everything, down to the agriculture, what would they talk? We left agriculture now politicians the hand. Because all the time they say, if you are a politician, if you can't get farm, if you want to do this, if you can't get farm, what do they do for empower the ordinary farmer? At least let them make soft loan to the farmers where you know to go with that too much interest in that country. And let we left for put more attention to the government use. Oh yes, now they're responsible. At least we now the local sector. It happen also of the countries like then Kenya, Uganda. When you watch that country, you see the government is terrible. But when you watch entrepreneurship, when you watch in terms of agriculture, tourism, you see that sector they boom. I've been feeling identity for don't make Nara's country. Instead of to just center everything on politics, if the politicians not do what they do, you know, so now we problem. You know, so now that time me see, me not watch them as a politician, as an economics. I just watch them that layman way, you know. But I feel that more than we on problem, you know. Thank you very much.
Wow, my brother. I scared for my job. It just happened to say, well, you know, the Canada. Otherwise, I scared for my job. You really nail them though. You really nail them. And let's just take a minute before I go to the next call. Why I say you nail them. Now, they're advanced countries, then get what they call scheme. So this scheme, even student loan, for example, you take student loan, the country then get agency, where the agency then give that agency a pool of money. So now that money they use for learn picking them for go school. Within the government they do, it is step in, Canada for example, it is step in and make that loan the interest free. So the government they pay the interest while you're in our school. So where you don't finish school, then you 6 months where you don't finish your program. So after 6 months, you take up the loan now and begin pay the loan with interest. So now similar thing, therefore don't do for small businesses. The government for don't sign as a guarantor of their loans then they with the bank and say, okay, well, then loans here, we go guarantee, say this person go pay. We give the person 6 months or 1 year. Where the person, again, this is not free economic policy that they give to the government and other people in Sierra Leone. So where that money they, after 6 months or 1 year, depending upon the assessment, then the government can say, okay, well, you, the person where either a farmer or a trader, you go begin pay this debt now with interest, because don't use 6 months within a called grace period for let your business grow. So you need to pay interest, you need to pay nothing on the loan, the government go to pay the interest on your behalf. And then after which the government can left and you now. So when government guarantee their loans, then they make the bank not scared for trust people them. But now Lebanese them and other people that we get influence now then they get loan. You absolutely right, you nail them. So thank you for that. And great.
Let ask one question. Let just ask one question quick.
Yes.
In terms of loans, waiting we most of the world in diaspora will do towards that. I they come up with a scenario. For example, I get a friend where the money may do business, but as I'm say, reliable for make I go do some business or I not feel say are they in the position. What I do when I take a loan, I give free time like 6 months. I say work this after 6 months, start for pay me this. I feel saying that we the diaspora instead of we they send also free money. Most of the times, if I go call you, hey, send for me a hard up, you send $100. Why instead most of them think that we need to convert into loan? Give somebody a loan. At least it's out of topic, but a suggestion to we who the listing. Instead of it give somebody free money, arrange with the person, get a loan, get a certain time, and get and say, pay me back when this time reach. Let we see how that again they go since the government need to take this step. But there's a lot of solutions where at least it for build trust. I know say I go out of topic, but anyway, now just give people the line.
Exactly, and another great solution you make. So, and just quickly, that solution it help. Let tell you psychologically, where you send money to your brother or your friend or whoever, and tell them say pay me back after 6 months or after even 1 year. Highly likely, if they not pay you back, then they come again for money.
Exactly.
But when you give them, always they come back. So exactly. That's one way for make them responsible. Because when you not pay, when you not give them money because they not pay you back, it force them for look elsewhere for survive. So, but thank you very much. Interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah, interesting solution. I agree with the solution. Thank you. God bless. All right. Well, unfortunately, I think for the people that wait for the African Network show, I will kind of cancel that show day tonight because I see too many callers them on the line. So I'll take as many calls them as possible for Teach Me Country First. VOS Network caller, waiting your name and who say they call from, please.
Hello, Mr. Cabo. Good evening, sir. This is.
Oh, wonderful. The diva, the VOS diva.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, loud and clear.
Good evening, everybody.
Yes.
This is for. I enjoyed the show.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Pastor Sierra Leone, and I get question them.
Sure.
Okay. First, then talk about the loan, giving loan to small businesses, giving loan, and we know say we get that culture where the people they pay debts back, bad loans, right? And we know say. Past governments that they don't do them, and we hear you now the commissions of inquiry, where people them get loan, we don't pass 10 years, they not even pay the banks back. They not even pay back the loan then. So how you go get a culture of that stuff? And then some of these people, you talk about small businesses. Some of these small business don't have that much money, or maybe they not even get oaths for puts because long term. When women they go up, when people they want to go, then they say put you on smoke down. And now a lot of them don't have houses. How will what thing of guarantee then loan they may for help the people them for make the economy kind of keep going and give them CPR for they come back alive. And so to me I feel grants will be better for some of these little people. And then the one they wait for able for waiting and call them, you can give loan too. And the other question I get for you, sir.
Yes.
You talk on the term where Anesco maybe they not power during the Ebola term. The economy was booming before that, then Ebola hit, but they could not control their spending. I remember they say austerity measures. Austerity measures is where you cut down taxes and reduce your spending. But yet, we are still going through the CPR on our economy, and we're still spending, and the taxes are high, and when money they go down, because you say if we keep spending, and there are lots of leakages, we don't get fiscal discipline. Without the fiscal discipline, we money they drop, we value they drop. So even though prices are high all over the world, but inflation going to be so much for we don't have spending power, we don't have earning power, but we continue to spend recklessly. So how for cut that leakage, that bleeding now, what's in called it, and then also, can you say, and by Koroma, the first part of his spending, the economy was good because we had just come out of war, because all these funds were coming in. Now grow the economy, make the economy be the boom, money be there, people were happy, blah 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 blah. So I just want to know, I just want to go and three questions the day for you and what's in the say, because because some of we not understand economics, how it function, and we continue to forget the same problem that we country. So therefore, how do we go forward? How do we take our people out of poverty? How do we bring back the middle class? How do we bring back, then they talk about farming. The one they all don't die because we for a long time we not a go farmer. So it will take a long time for a poor farmer. We go get loan from government. So then crop then come and get bad crop. How will he repay those loans?
Okay.
So now that I just want, I want to go into you, but thank you so much.
Well,
I always love you when you do this economic breakdown, because we want to know how to go forward, because some of these people that they put in these places are not taking us anywhere. We just leave blank checks, open checks, and do whatever the blank we need to do. That's how we're going to go forward. How?
All right. Well, let me make sure say I understand the questions then, because I'm not saying
Okay, sir.
yeah, because again, I be tell people and say on our shoes they're so heavy for me for Phil. But again, let's take the first question where you talk about people and they pay debt, and the government officials them where they take debts from the bank and all that and they pay. That's now one of the issue, the corruption. Because for like the system work, the financial system work, the government therefore minimize corruption, then therefore make them transparent, and then loans then they therefore able to be traceable. Not to that one way they go give cash, put list time any side and whatnot. So the government they come as a guarantor. Somebody when a small business not necessarily need for get oaths for let it go able get a loan for expanding business. Here is one clever way of doing it. You they give loan through the bank. The bank now they give the loan. The government just they guarantee that loan day for let the bank go as they can say shorty. So for let the bank, if the person not pay, the government they on the hook. So remember, a act for forfeit government as individual. Government can come and confiscate you property, your business and stuff for pay the loan. So it's easier for let government go after people when not pay the loan, just like IRS. Now America, Canada, and so government can get that power there. So now that make way government, because I don't know people are way not to we not in North America. Now America for us, not to everybody go able pay high mortgage rates, but for let the mortgage rates be sort of easier for people affordable, then get a government agency where Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, where then they guarantee the mortgages, where now something and called default insurance, mortgage default insurance. So then they insure, and government now they back their institutions then they for give them money if something go wrong and stuff. So government can put in place all lending and they get an agency where go responsible for implement the program, minimize corruption, because then go make establish agency. The next thing, people then go use that agency there for go build mighty house and stuff, and it defeats the purpose. But you get an agency where the government now they link that agency there with the bank and be a guarantor. And here is one thing where I go say, somebody where don't begin in business, it just needs small money for expand. Now then kind people and they force you the help. because then people and they know the business already, not just for expand. So you where they come and just come with idea and no. So try first existing business people let it able for expand. That's not one way because Salone no get money for give any kind person, but somebody where just they look for expand where the money not plenty. Where sometimes it just need 20 million, for example. That 20 million day, where you look at 100 people compared to the waste where government they embark on, na small money. And you go help boku people because then people the way to help, where they give them loans, then get family. So that multiplier effect what they talk about. So that's now one way where the government they handle that payment thing. And the second question, which is
the second one is during the Anesco time, they
Yes.
do austerity measures, cutting taxes and reducing tax and spending. But I mean, was it successful? I don't think they're able to get to that point where we supposed to get. But is it fair to say during the war, after the war, the money that will be coming, I make the economy be the boom? Because after war, when they rebuild, money is coming in from different things, make the economy be the grow that particular time. Then could you say that's true or one of the factors of why?
Well, I go say na minimum. I go say that in the way you talk, you get minimal impact because when they talk about 2013 and the war end 2004, Kaba do another term. So it complete in first term and it do another term. So it be a sufficient period, then money then they will be pour in for help with the GDP growth. So Kaba na foresee then growth then they. But Anescoma, a benefit from, remember that 2007, 2008 world recession, it be so severe that countries them, advanced countries them around the world, that's why we tell that border will be there, then begin go into deficit spending for boost the economy. So at that time, we be get resources where the world need. So they buy Salone minerals. So as a result of that, we benefit from the global economic boom. So not to that war impact. Now that global demand
so
for
it was
goods.
The economy because we didn't
Yes.
get things that when they need. Was that the bauxite,
Exactly.
the diamonds and stuff like that?
And that's
that
make,
was
with all fairness, the current administration, they say the term where Anescoma be then a power, iron ore and all the areas, then they be a boom because the world
Prices were
demand
high.
be very high. So now it make way the supporters them of APC, they call on world best, I question that. But again, not the opinion. But where you look in a critical way, I don't think it deserves for be world best in terms of the economy at all.
So then the austerity measures that they put in second term, I know they put austerity measures because the economy was not good, things were not going right, everything.
Yes.
But yet they continued to spend. They continued to spend, but the austerity measure, you talk about 20% inflation or something like that, it was. So what is
inflation will be reach 20%, but it'd be very high. I think it was 18%.
Okay, 18.
Yeah, but in terms of the austerity, I'm glad the way you bring that thing there up, because austerity measure now something that thing the way Koma do, former President Koma do. Now, part of the requirement for get additional funding from IMF and World Bank. So not just saying that something we just take upon itself. So and we slowly get to that level because now with debt to GDP ratio is about 75%. And as we go closer, because IMF and World Bank, they don't begin sound the alarm, say we need for cutback on the spending. So if we not do that, then they go put a requirement for cutback by force instead of you doing voluntarily. Then go give you that as a requirement for letting release any amount. So now that make, in fact, where President Kurma leading to the 2018 election, where be cut back on the subsidy for rest and fuel, then suspend disbursement of the loans then they. Even though the current administration try for play on that for political reason, say now because of XYZ, no, now because they not be adhere to IMF loan for cut back on the subsidies then they. So then they help.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And,
So
and
the third one.
Okay. Yeah, the other one that they asked about this fiscal indiscipline thing that we still in this leakage. So are you saying because of we overspending, because we spend money we will not get for the one they will not understand, because we they go overdraft for we money, not because you say now they cause the leakage, because the money whether they spend, whether they take, they don't spend it inside Sierra Leone for create job and create people them, then things that whether they go through for let the economy go boom. Before that the money then they carry them, they travel, you say the airlines, they use other people's airlines, the money they go outside instead of coming in. So now that they make, because of their behavior, then they reckless spending and behavior, is it why make we currency they depreciate daily? Is it one of the reasons?
Well,
or one of the big
one of the reasons, and that deficit spending, like how I've been shown at the IMC, their own assessment, the connection where they make in terms of the fiscal policy and then poverty, economic growth and poverty, it gets direct link. However, that way where you put them, so a very simplistic for say, okay, where do they spend, and then they translate into this. Look at the deficit angle. Here is the way where I want to let people see them. If you go trust money for spend, and where you don't spend, you not spend on pass something where for make you get more of that money there. How you go to pay back? It will be very difficult. So remember, you don't spend the money down, but the money you not spend on pass something like let's say open market where that market they go to turn and make profit. So from the profit you go to pay the person small and your business still down. But if you go spend the money, your business run down, and then you still owe the person, then will create hardship. So now that kind of thing there we go through right now. We get what you call debt servicing ratio. Plenty of them money out there, IMF don't disburse this now loan. And we get for the pay interest on them loans then they. So sometimes it can be per year, sometimes it can be per month, it can be per quarter, depending upon the arrangement, the agreement of that loan day. So if you they take money out of the economy in the country, go spend outside. You don't take from that economy where you want money now for pay. Then for maintain them loan, then they pay the interest on them and small principal and stuff. That money where you don't pull, you not get for use part of them again for pay the debt, correct? Because that money they don't left the economy.
Don't go.
Exactly, don't go. Yes. So what do they do?
They don't multiply.
Yes, exactly. So what do they do now? The small way they now you the rational. You the rational and then deprive that money way for go into other programs them for develop the country. Now you go to use now for pay the debt. Like for
so is it the same that they say rob Peter to pay Paul?
Well, anyway, that can look another way. But this one, for people that we familiar with economics, we get what they call current account. But that current account, the equation, if you look at income, that like government spending, income, taxes, and all that, particularly the imports now minus to the current account. So now that way they will let people look but we get other callers them. I don't know if I answer all your question, but
okay,
clear.
you don't answer call me question, but one more last one at the common as well, I swear. Where you don't answer the people them, whose message you want to give to we Minister of Finance and the bank governor, where they run with money, follow we go, because we want let we country go before we people them, we they go down and down, the money they go up. So I want you give a message or an advice to the ministers, the people that are running our money, the finance people, how for try to come out, because from your expertise with the Canada government and all that stuff, you are nothing I want to analyze for EPWI, because one go before. Thank you so much for all you do. And I love you, bro. Thank you.
Thank you. And same here. We truly appreciate you, Madam Fadima. So let's not wait till the end. Let us see clearly the way how we dey resolve the fiscal issue na Salone. The key component now for make the bank governor independent, therefore able for secure in tenure. You know why? Let me take America for example. Donald Trump, this current Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, Donald Trump hire him. Now in nominate him, then the Senate then confirm him after they don't do all the due diligence and all that, then confirm in nomination. So remember, a Trump nominator. At one point, because of some policies, then they were not a good policy for politics, but a good economic policy. This man not do them. Because Trump say, let the man reduce interest rate and all that stuff, then the man say no. Not a good economic policy. Trump not able to do nothing. He not able for pull am day because he not get the power for pull am day. So until we make that possible na Salone, where the current the bank governor in position, the president if for nominate him where he don't did it, if for complete in term, whether they do something where not fit with the politics, not good for the politics or not, is supposed for the day as long as it puts the interest of the country first. If we not do that, we dey far force. Let I show una one example as to wetin they go on in the country right now. It very clear. Say where the president want travel and do all that spending, he go just call the bank governor, oh, I want this money and whatnot. That's wrong. The president of just they call the shot like that. It's completely wrong. Yeah, where the bank where the federal bank want for trust the government, they buy treasury. Waiting at treasury, now promissory note where the government they say within this period where they call maturity, I will let you trust me this money and I will pay you after this period with interest. So now where the Federal Reserve realize say that method it make the government they spend too much and it increase the pressure of inflation. So what they do? They don't stop for buy additional debt of the government. But we now, the bank governor, gets that liberty for saying no to the president. No, I need to trust you money. Until that happen, it go difficult for them we able control the government spending and for control inflation. So this Namion, I kind of make it simplistic, but this now one major issue. Personally, well, I don't know if now because of maybe I get comfortable job in Canada, but whether or not I get job in Canada, if a government like how what happened to the current bank governor, for lack he accept that position there, where President Bill fire the previous bank governor. To me, that question in character. As a professional, where you know very well, say if you do unto this person, where you go there, you untie, you not go able function properly. Why you take that kind of position there? As a professional, you not for take that kind of position in there. Anybody else not for take them position in there, because you know say you not go get that independence where you need, because it don't demonstrate say if you not like what you they do, whether not the right thing or not, it they fire you until we fix that. With fiscal policy, well, monetary policy, particularly where now in the try for control inflation and other things, them we not go able forget the best of it. So that go be my own take on that. The solution to it, then for Parliament for put foot down and make sure say the president not gets the power for fire a bank governor. By extension, the ACC as well. So let us take maybe one more call, and then I'll go end the show. And again, I'll for tell now Boku Tenki. Let's take the last call. VOS Network. Hello, caller. Waiting on your name and who say the call from, please.
Hello. My name is Sam and I call from Virginia. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much, my brother.
Okay. First of all, if I say anything without saying thank you for your analysis this evening, then it's not going to be fair to you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's so
my pleasure.
educative and I learned so much. Firstly, I just want for Rob small part this loan business where I want to be talk about just now. And I worked at the banking industry for a couple of years, more than 10 years before I moved to the US. And one thing about the loan business, especially when it comes to grants where governments, the standards, the collateral, it's rather unfortunate that we can get some on paper beautifully done. He writes nicely. But when it comes to reality, politics enter inside it. And in your experience, we think most things happen, the people that we already inside the business them, where they do well, not all them can be the priority. But instead, others, the politicians that they recommend for giving loan them the. Now then they get some. And most of the time, I will tell you, say, when they give them the loan them the rate of default or the risk of default, it's way higher than when you give somebody who already been in the business. And also the other thing the unboggling scheme day, I would say it's in a corruption. Because the one them where they disburse them funds they always they look forward to waiting you where they receive them get forgive them back as kickback. And even without the government schemes them with a regular loan, once you start on that footing day, not only 9 out of 10 they default. Because you don't charge me 20% interest. I take 100 million, then you want 10 million or 15 million up front, then you expect me for pay 120 million plus at the end of the day. No way. So now we can see the rate of default can be high. And one example we make politics scam, Bogdan scheme than me. Now, when the people and the politicians themselves they involved to get their loan in they will notice the rate of default for them pep them politically exposed persons. And in the previous regime, as clearly shown by the Commission of Inquiry, it was high. They won't be the pay because them just thinks within a power we get right for them. So that's now one. The other aspect again of your discussion, we may go put say one of the big problems in Salone, dishonesty and deception. I listened to Alpha Khan and the former vice president. Then comment over the weekend. All I see in the comment is deception and dishonesty. If we blame Koma, as plenty people go blame him, say you for don't do more, Salone for don't go before. As we say Salone, they give you a term. There is nothing then two people and they can tell me we go make her exonerate them. Because they are equally as guilty, because they were there. And for sure saying with institutions, they're not independent and they're not they work properly. The vice president was accused and the evidences were there for the archgates, but nothing happened. So now, for let it all protect them, unexplained welfare they don't get her. All they can do is to link to the current government for refuge, protect me. That's all they are doing. They are not doing it in the interest of Salone. Or it may be seen a lie. Also for the Salone people then, they do it for their own selfish interest and selfish gain. If I can't have the opportunity for make fiber optic go right across the country during the APC term, which so much money will come on, but nothing will happen. We still left with internet in the country, right? So, and also, oh, I'm sorry about that. But
No, that's okay. Finish your thoughts, sir. Thank you.
Yes. And with the August issue, it's sad that at the time when it happened, we get to see big English that it come up. One of them was the insurrection and the terrorism. It was harsh on the country and the people as a whole. But 2-3 weeks, a month down the line, we see the government say in the compensate families them of the so-called terrorists them are not able to see inside them two actions and that action day and the speech add up inside the convergence day of them two things then they are not probably Mr. Kagbo you will help us more for understand.
Yeah, my brother, I don't know if you be watch that program what we do now with Sister Network, we know the African Voice Network, ask that same question there. So if you call the people and terrorists and then you compensate their families, so what you they try for do waiting at the interpretation of that, it means you to encourage more terrorism. The simple interpretation. So that they show how dishonest we politicians then be. How dishonest people them way they see that protest as something else. Because there's no justification for the government say, oh, we give them compensation. You say not terrorists them, not bad people them. So why you for compensate them for when they do something bad?
Yeah, exactly. And lastly, before take me leave, the redenomination. Now something where they don't left me with plenty thoughts over the months past and all the rest of it. The initial thought was that if they bring any economic value, real value to the lives of people and the economy as a whole, why do it? Because just like you say, if we continue for the spend the way I would spend, we are not making the money, then we will become bankrupt if we're not already bankrupt safe at the moment. So the initial thought was that the bank governor take the decision because he say people will be hold the money, business people will keep the money. But if that's not the case, I'll be there of the opinion, see, why we not invest in technology, we do most of the big transactions then, when in the business people will do and the banks and governments, paperless. Why we not use card? Why we not invest? Why we not help the bank then for invest in technology so the card system for do transaction will improve so that the wire movement of money, electronic movement of money will improve instead of go spending more money for print money where they get revenue from. So I don't know what I thought about that on that Friday.
That's that last part where you talk. So, in my opinion, for be a solution to that, seeing plenty notes moving around and stuff. An example for me, don't take. I don't get money in my wallet, but I get my card. Where now they use and where did they pay me everything electronically. So here is waiting I believe, and again, this na my own opinion. It can be true, it may not be true. The politicians then go do all kind thing for prevent the use of then card then they, because if that happen, it's traceable. So where another government come and stuff, it's easy for let you go back because electronically it's easier for trace and stuff. Go back and see, okay, well, this politician or minister X or Y, it transfer so money from this account to that account there, and also I pull that money there and stuff. So it's easier. And because they not like them trace them they prefer for go take bribe with boku cartoon or bags of money and go put them somewhere, dig them or under them pillow or them bed or whatever it is. And it had for let you trace cash transaction. And I make even then we advanced countries here, plenty people away want for evade taxes, then go say if you pay cash, and I'll go charge tax and stuff. So that's, to me, I don't think they go get the incentive for do the right thing and encourage the economy for go in a cashless direction. So I hope that answer your question. We there far force.
Thank you.
Then get political will for able to resolve that.
Will. Yeah, the will get for there and it gets for starts. I mean, from them, from the top.
Yeah.
You know, make all the institutions, then with the regulatory institution become so independent. For example, the audit service Salone, the anti-corruption. Look like what's in with the face now.
Yeah.
So that somebody will not qualify for the audit. You know, the problem then so much, but at the end of the day, me always feel say if we so honest with ourselves, we so patriotic, they're not difficult for solve.
Yes. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I make the emphasize on the will. The willingness not there because they're not feeling as something way go continue fulfill then corrupt practices. So they're not going to ever be willing for be transparent. Well, thank you very much, Latte, for wrap up and thank you for what you call. God bless.
You have a good time.
All right, take care, sir. All right, Ifambulem, I want to tell Boku thank you to all the people that we call, including the VOS diva, Madam Fadima, we in the lead host for the show. I decided for step in because people are not used for let this show they come on and they miss Mr. Salone. I don't miss Mr. Shilon that much, even though I'm not able for filling his shoes because I huge shoes for fill. But I hope say this program give una some insight as to how for read the score, the Millennium Challenge score. And I mean, watch the comments them. I pin on the comment section, brother, when Lamin Denke say, Mr. Kago, please, the latest video is out. Just see editorial. George Temple, the investigative journalist, Facebook page, please. That expose the government's bad intention. So I believe they refer to the protests them that August 10th issue. So let's just zoom through the comments them quickly. I know say I don't pile the comments them on me, but I go do my best for just zoom through them very quickly. And again, they are big. If I'm not able to get to your comment, I know I'll you take them personal. I really appreciate when we all come na VOS for let we talk about how we can able push we country go before. And thank you very much. And the last person, so I just zoom through them because they comment them boku. So Russell say, well, you need to stop Adebayo. Let him stop to abuse our president. If he knows that he don't like the president, he needs to keep quiet. He's fighting for APC, not the people of Sierra Leone. Thank you so much when you bring that, Mr. Russell. And again, Adebayo, with all fairness, it gets in fundamental human right. If he abused the president, guess what? In my own opinion, a civil matter. Again, the lawyers can correct me if I'm wrong. A civil matter. If not different, if I insult you. So Adebayo, in case the government can sue Adebayo, they can do that. So then get way for challenge Adebayo. All me they say is, my brothers and sisters, whether APC or all any side where you did, whether not Adebayo or any other person, dear, be careful of people, including the politicians, where go try for influence you for do something where no go help you development, where go land you in a jail or some side where you people are not go benefit. Not do that. Politicians safe, where go give rum or give small money for go fetch somebody and go kill somebody. Not do that. If Adebayo or any other person ask you for go do something where you feel say an illegal thing, not do that. Now that way they don't make me go tap. But in terms of insulting the president and stuff, you as a supporter, I don't feel say you get any business for say, oh, are they fit for the government or waiting? No. So the government then get a channel them where they go sue Adebayo, then can sue Adebayo internationally. Adebayo na international citizen. So then can sue him. Again, I not go into the detail, but the government can able deal with them. The president, this na a civil matter. So Adebayo can say, oh, na illegal right, na freedom of speech, na freedom of whatever it is. But the court now go determine if it don't overstep in bound. I don't say yes. As a supporter of the president and the party, you don't go want let anybody, and even me, as my president, I don't go want to let anybody insult her. I don't go want that at all because it tell negatively on the country. Absolutely, I agree with that. But however, for like people they try for Tonangi and see other APC people as enemies and stuff. That's equally wrong because they bring good, they bring peace now we country. And they continue for divide we country, and we all know want that. They are big. Let we live as before, where men they get best friend. As they get a Timni person or Limba person as a best friend, and vice versa. Let we continue with that. They are big. And I want to say Boku thank you again to Madam Memunatu Safa. You've been wonderful. Let's just be Sierra Leoneans, people. Our nation is in ruins. It's only putting her interest and betterment, first that will revive the nation again. Thank you. And you say thank you to the caller. And Russell, they continue to say, why can't you stop Adebayo if you can? Or better yet, stop madman Bio from, okay. Again, I know say, I don't want to be dragged into this political talk, my brothers and sisters. But I really, really want to say boku thank you again to everybody we don't join we. I go stop here. My apologies that I'm not able for take all the comments them because them plenty and I don't want to overstretch the program. We don't go way beyond the 2 hour mark, and I want to do justice to my colleague them when Madam, let's say ladies first, Madam Fadima and Mr. Shilon. I want to be fair to them, and I want to stretch the program for too long. So I go tap on here, and I want to say boku thank you again to all me famble them. I want to know clearly, say me na Sierra Leonean first. I don't care about APC, I don't care about SLPP. And as well, I no go despise me SLPP brothers and sisters, me APC brothers and sisters, me NGC brothers and sisters, C4C, and all the other parties them. Now the fundamental human right for let they assemble, let they associate with any organization where they want, as long as not an illegal organization where that one day unlawful. As long as not something where legal, then can be SLPP, then can be NGC. Please, let we not see somebody when a SLPP and you na APC, you see that person there as enemy, and they help the country. The same way, so let somebody when a APC, you see somebody when a SLPP, and they help the country. And as Limbaman, not say because of predominantly the North now a stronghold of APC, you foresee somebody where fundamentally get a different ideology, a belief system in the political landscape as enemy. This na political ideology, and let me make it very clear today. And I speak directly to the politicians, them, the supporters, them, of all the major parties, them, in the country. Deep down within me, I not believe, say, President Bill mean bad for the country. I not agree with them policies, them. I believe, say, don't make plenty mistakes over the policies. But I don't get any doubt, say, elect the country. I know say some people and they say that no. The only thing is some policies then where they endanger the country. Like an example where I give. Under no circumstance for political gain, for score political point, for label with brothers and sisters, we protest because of the country triangle as terrorists. That's completely wrong. As the papa of the country. Now, a very wrong move. And the same thing again, Samua Kamara, after the election, for say, it go make the country ungovernable for President Bill, that was equally wrong. Samua Kamara be get over 40% of people that will vote for him, meaning he get a huge support base. For like he said that, then there to me, you the inside, you base, not for comply, for be probably lawless. And that's also completely wrong. Or for contemn that. It all lost the election, if for concede and congratulate President Bill. And I'd encourage President Bill for let him be the tall person. If he win the coming election, fine. If he not win the coming election, dear, let he not do the mistake where Samuel mistake. Let it concede and let it move on. And again, let preempt Naya. The person, if President Bill not win this coming election, the new president will they get. Dear Abeg, work with President Bill. President Bill still gets Sierra Leone'S they will believe in him. That way where President Bill sideline former President Ernest Koroma, he contribute for bring we country to this political mess where we face so. How independence celebration, the only president where they alive, the only former president where they alive, make it be part of that celebration. That was completely wrong. Not send any message of unity to the country at all. So dear President Bill, and any president where they come after, if President Bill still there alive, President Koroma still there alive, the country need for see una all sit on a one row during public events, during national celebrations. Like give an example, and I go stop here. The time where President Rawlings be there alive, whenever they watch football, Ghana game, we see all the presidents them of Ghana where they are alive, sit down at the same row. That was brilliant. Any Ghanaian go be proud of that Cindy. But did they use politics? You paint President Koroma as this terrible person. But when I get differences in political, the way out for run the country, that's fine. But for you paint him as somebody so terrible that not deserve for be part of a national celebration, I was wrong. Completely wrong. Then we call that out. And again, I for tell na boku boku tenki. And my last message to now for we put Salone first. APC, SLPP, una get right for be part of it. But Salone for be una number one priority. Not to the political party. And also another thing where I want for appeal. I don't know how we go be. But that way where they select I don't know if APC go use the opportunity for start time, because I don't believe say they don't put out their flag bearer or their candidate, presidential candidate. To me, it benefits the country if the people them way want for rule the country, then give Sierra Leoneans them opportunity for ask them direct question. Run a campaign, do primaries, like how they do in America and other advanced countries them. Let them do primaries. So that way people then go know waiting at them policy. People then go ask them the tough questions. Then they help Sierra Leoneans them for make a better choice. But the party not for shove the people them or then candidates, now people then throat. Where you're not able to get better choice between, in this case, President Bill and the APC person or NGC or the other one them. Therefore, make primaries, make them open. So would I able to convince the people and during the primaries, it win the nomination? And then square out now with President Bill. And where we not do them that way, they highly likely, as they happen in America and other places, highly likely you go get SLPP supporters them we go vote for that candidate they, because they go convince say that person they go be a better person for push the country go before. But when they give the Sierra Leoneans them that opportunity for able to understand the candidate, and it's wrong, it's completely wrong, and then they push the country go before. So that may go be my last word. And I want to tell una again, boku thank you for where una join. I keep saying the last word, but I just quickly show una this MCC score, the current scorecard. And I want to make something, I want to emphasize on something. If una look at the current corruption control, the control of corruption, the current result now 79%. So the last fiscal year, when at 2022 of the report, it was 83%. So una ask una self the question, why it go down? Even though it's too early for conclude, but it go mean say because they're not able to get opportunity again for go after the opposition, so we don't reach waiting I go call a saturation point, like the peak. Now we just a fall. So now all them questions here una for the ask una self. And here is another interesting thing about this result. I will go back to 2018 or 19, the 2019 report, 2019 fiscal year. Una see the period, this score, the period end 2017. And what now be the score? Now be 71%. 2017, now President Kuruma be in a power. And when I look at all the points them na that line, because any point where they above the line, you pass that particular indicator there. So look, since 2013, according to this, 2013, and they look at the 2019 report. So 2013. The score now 0, meaning Salone compared to the average within that category there, Salone there within the average. So not to fail. Then you fast forward to 2014. If they below 0, now minus 0.05. And then look at 2015, I should say. 2015, we there above 0. 2016, Salone be there above 0. 2017, Salone be there above 0. Meaning in 2015, 2016, 2017, Salone be past that particular indicator there of control of corruption. What to make I bring this to our attention? The current administration be don't paint the previous administration, say them corrupt and everything, but the MCC score since 2015, 3 years in a row. And now one of the reasons that we make an Escoma win that compact program. So una see why we for be careful of them politicians here? Not to excuse how they make. I just they try for say this MCC score is not supposed for be a barometer of how well overall the government they do. Because when you look at the countries them where Salone, them put Salone category, now poor country them. And we know say plenty of them countries then they're very corrupt. So to me, Salone need for look at one score where one index where me cherish, where I believe say now the better one compared to this MCC score. Now the corruption index where done from Transparency International. This one that they see at the screen are over 100. So where the president take over now be 30. Now 34. So we still there below the 50% mark for we go say Salone don't do well. And let us show now because again I can lack for compare Salone with countries the way they do very well. I can lack that. So if you look at if you want for assess this all corruption kind of thing, let we look at the countries them were least corrupt now Africa. And let we look at how much they don't develop. Salone for right now, now 34 over 100. So now fail. So let we stop for the rain so much praises, like say they don't do extremely well. Yeah, we see improvement, but in my opinion, now marginal improvement. Now very small. I even go say self now improvement where I go consider as negligible, very small. Now let we look at Rwanda. Rwanda corruption index now 53%, and we all see how people them international investors them they go to Rwanda because they get very good track record of controlling corruption. Why we not go compare with country like Rwanda, with country like Cape Verde, small Cape Verde, 58% So I go finally tap here, but I want for una rethink. We want to assess how much the government don't do, past and present. Una think about a better indicator. MCC, a good for help we qualify for programs, but the MCC, the people and where the countries that where they compare we with, the category where they put we in a category when a poor country them. Where if in Liberia they among the first 10 poorest country, the top 10 poorest countries, and you look at Zimbabwe, you look at other countries, Afghanistan. Now then countries and then put we with. And then when I feel say the MCC scorecard, then they for be something where for be on a benchmark for determine whether or not una don't do well. I don't know if maybe then either overlook the category, the country that where they lump Salone with, or then deliberately want for mislead the Salone people them. Latapia. And let me take a quick commercial break. And I want to say boku thank you again for all the people that will join And again, unfortunately, the people them way they look forward to the African Network show. I'm not going to do the show because I don't go way over time. And my apologies, but I go try my best for make sure say we do the show next week. So on behalf of the VOS network, and I want to tell VOS, boku thank you for letting give me space and allow me for step into the shoes of Madam Fadima and Mr. Shilon. So until next time, we don't know, and I have a great evening. And thank you, and thank you. Good.
This is the Central University. Here, we move a little differently. We are the change makers, the innovators. We are solving the problems of the 21st century. We create, we lead, we inspire. Beginning your journey at Central University is opening your chapter to success. Here, we are a family that works together to make the change today for a better Sierra Leone and world tomorrow. Here is a home for you. Central University, a place where careers begin.